But I haven't done anything!
A single moment can change a life forever. A single action, a single mistake. Netflix's Adolescence isn't just a crime drama. It's a mirror held up to society, a reflection of our digital age, and a chilling reminder of the dangers lurking in the shadows of the internet. Welcome to Moviescope with Hans, where we dissect cinema beyond just entertainment. Today, we dive deep into Adolescence, a series that doesn't just tell a story, but immerses us in it through its breathtaking one-shot format. Filmed in a way that makes us feel like we are right there, this one-take approach removes the safety net of editing, making every moment raw and relentless. And that's just the beginning of what makes this series so powerful. Adolescence is co-created and written by Graham and Jack Thorne and directed by Philip Barantini, who employed a similar continuous one-shot style in the 2021 BAFTA and BIFA-nominated film Boiling Point. Graham also starred in Boiling Point. And of course, we cannot forget the actors who carry this emotionally charged story. Owen Cooper as Jamie Miller delivers a chillingly realistic performance as a 13-year-old boy pushed to his limits. Adolescence co-creator Stephen Graham as Eddie Miller, Jamie's father, Ashley Walters as Detective Inspector Luke Bascom, Erin Doherty as Bryony Ariston, the clinical psychologist assigned to Jamie's case, and Christine Tremarco as Manda Miller, the mother, torn between love and disbelief. The beauty of a one-shot film is that there's nowhere to hide, no quick cuts to relieve the tension, no breaks to let the audience breathe. Just an unrelenting, inescapable reality. To achieve this, Barantini's directing team used a DJI Ronin 4D camera, which is usually used for action sequences. The device's immense flexibility made it perfect for Adolescence's on-the-move visuals as the series follows its characters through windows, up stairwells, and into speeding vans. Various crew members had to hand the camera off to each other throughout filming, without stopping. From the very first scene, we are trapped with Jamie, experiencing his world without filters or distance. The one-shot approach transforms this from just another crime drama into a documentary-like experience. And in the final moments of episode 2, the team used a drone camera for a chase sequence, which takes Bascom and one of Jamie's classmates from the school all the way past the murder site. Much of Adolescence was filmed in Pontefract in the city of Wakefield in West Yorkshire, England. Most importantly, the studios were near enough to the real locations used in the series that the camera could travel between them in real time. Adolescence tells the story of how a family's world is turned upside down when 13-year-old Jamie Miller is arrested for the murder of a teenage girl who goes to his school. The story begins with sirens. Chaos. The door bursts open. Jamie Miller, 13 years old, is dragged from his home by police officers. The charge? The murder of his classmate, Katie Leonard. But the real question isn't just what happened, but how. How does an ordinary boy turn into a killer? At its core, Adolescence is not just about one boy. It's about an entire generation growing up in an online world that shapes them in ways we barely understand. The story focuses on toxic masculinity and online influence. Jamie's journey is terrifyingly real. We've seen cases of young boys radicalized through dark online communities. This series forces us to ask, how do we stop this before it happens? It also tells us the importance of parenting in the digital age. Eddie and Manda love their son. But love isn't enough when you don't see what's happening right in front of you. Mental health and adolescence is the main issue highlighted in this series. Bullying, loneliness, anger, left unchecked, they can lead to devastation. Jamie could have been helped, but no one looked closely enough. As someone who loves psychological thrillers, Adolescence was an absolutely immersive, intense, and thought-provoking story from start to finish. The long, drawn-out scenes were a standout feature for me. They made it feel like I was in the room with the characters, experiencing every emotion alongside them. My favorite episode of Adolescence was episode 3, especially the conversation between the woman and Jamie. That scene was so gripping. It felt almost intrusive, as if I were eavesdropping on a real-life exchange rather than watching a scripted show. The dialogue, the pauses, and the unspoken tension between them were incredibly natural and unsettling in the best way possible. Jamie's character development was outstanding, and this episode truly highlighted the complexity of his struggles. One of the aspects I truly admired about Adolescence was its honest depiction of high school life in today's world. From the way students dressed, like how the girls wore their skirts higher, to the way they interacted, it all felt very true to life. Even the swearing at teachers, while controversial, does happen. Some viewers felt the show exaggerated these elements, but in my experience it was quite accurate. The only part that felt slightly overdone was the teachers' reactions, which sometimes felt overly dramatic, but overall, the school setting was incredibly believable. Another highlight for me was how the show incorporated social media, particularly Instagram. The way comments, emojis, and rapid online interactions shaped the narrative was impressively realistic. It perfectly captured how teenagers communicate today and how quickly situations can escalate through social media. The acting in Adolescence was outstanding, with the father's performance standing out the most. His quiet realization that he may have failed as a parent was deeply moving, and his portrayal of guilt in the final moments was heartbreaking. It genuinely hit me emotionally, and I even teared up at the end. Jamie's character was also portrayed with such authenticity that his development felt completely natural. In fact, the entire supporting cast delivered such strong performances that it didn't feel like I was watching a series. It felt like I was witnessing real life unfold. There is no happy ending, no neat resolution, because in real life, these stories don't always have one. So what do we take away from Adolescence? Awareness, responsibility, the understanding that sometimes monsters aren't born, they're made. This is a series that needs to be seen, not just for its technical brilliance, but for its urgent message. If you've watched it, tell me, what impacted you the most? Let's keep this conversation going in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into powerful cinema, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is Moviescope with Hans, signing off.